Okay, let's talk about money. And I want us to totally reframe how we think about it. Because for a lot of people, the term personal finance just sounds boring, right? Like it's all about spreadsheets and telling yourself no. But that's not it at all. Think of it like a roadmap. Seriously, it's the map that gets you exactly where you want to go in life, unlocking all the freedom and opportunities you've been dreaming of. So let's start that journey. And the first thing you have to know is this: you are in control right now, today. You are at the steering wheel. Every single decision you make from here on out, big or small, is what's going to shape the entire journey ahead. You are the driver. And look, this isn't some abstract thing that's decades away. These are the big stops in your map that are probably coming up way sooner than you think. Things like college, getting that first car, landing your first real job, and yeah, the ultimate destination, financial independence. These are the huge, exciting milestones, and a solid financial plan is the road that connects them all.
So, just like any good driver, you need to know the rules of the road. Let's think of these next few ideas as your official driver's handbook for money. These are the absolute non-negotiables that'll keep you on the path and out of the ditch. All right, rule number one, and this is the big one. You have to know the difference between a need and a want. It sounds simple, but it's everything. Needs are the fuel in your tank. We're talking a roof over your head, basic food, a way to get to work. You can't go anywhere without them. Wants, well, those are like the sunroof and the fancy sound system. They're awesome, for sure, but they aren't what actually get you from A to B. And being brutally honest with yourself about which is which, that is the single most powerful step you can take to get control of your money. Okay, once you've got that down, you can start to map out your actual route. It's a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, know your numbers. You can't plan a trip if you don't know your starting point, right? So you've got to track what's coming in and what's going out. Step 2, set your destination. Why are you doing this? Saving for a car, a down payment? That goal is your North Star. And finally, step 3, create your route. This is where you give every single dollar a job to do. This isn't about restriction. It's about you telling your money where to go instead of scratching your head and wondering where it all went. All of this whole journey is really powered by your mindset. It all comes down to building a habit called deferred gratification. That's just a fancy way of saying you learn to say no to something small you want right now, like that daily coffee, so you can say a huge yes to something much bigger and better later on, like that car you've been saving for. It's a superpower. So we have the rule book, we have our map. What about getting to our destination a little faster? Well, it's time to talk about the accelerator pedal, and that pedal is called compound growth. So what on earth is compound growth? Well, put simply, it's your money making its own money. See, when you invest, your money earns returns. But then, pretty soon, those returns start earning their own returns. It's like a tiny snowball that you start rolling at the top of a hill, and by the time it reaches the bottom, it's this massive, unstoppable force. And if you want to see just how powerful this is, look at this. This chart shows two people. They invest the exact same amount of money. The only difference? One starts at age 20, and the other waits until 30. That single 10-year head start doesn't just give them a little more money, it can mean having nearly double the savings by the time they retire. This proves the most important rule of investing, period. Time is your greatest asset. It's even more powerful than the amount of money you start with. Of course, no road trip is perfectly smooth. There are always going to be unexpected bumps in the road. And that's exactly why your car has safety features. So let's talk about building your financial airbags and seatbelts. The things that protect you when stuff goes wrong. Because life is just unpredictable. What happens when you get a flat tire? Or a surprise medical bill shows up in the mail? What if you suddenly lose your job? These aren't just what ifs. These are the real-world financial shocks that can totally throw you off course if you're not ready for them. So what's the solution? What's your most important safety feature? It's your emergency fund. The goal here is pretty simple. Save up 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses. And, this is key, keep it in a savings account where you can get to it easily. This isn't money for investing, it's your financial first aid kit. It's the cash that makes sure a small emergency doesn't spiral into a full-blown crisis. Now, besides that emergency fund, your safety net also includes understanding your insurance. I know, it's not the most exciting topic, but trust me, taking the time to know what your health insurance or your car insurance actually covers before you need it, that's what separates a minor headache from a major financial disaster.
Okay, so let's bring all this into the world we actually live in. The old paper maps are gone. Today, we're all driving on a fast, complicated digital highway, and we need to know how to navigate that safely too. I mean, let's be real. With tap to pay, digital wallets, one-click purchases, it is unbelievably easy to spend money without even realizing it. That little bit of friction of actually handing over cash, it's gone. And that means we have to be more mindful and more proactive than ever before. So, protecting yourself on this digital highway really comes down to a few simple habits. Using strong, unique passwords. Checking your bank statements regularly. But if you only do one thing from this list, please make it this one. Enable two-factor authentication on your accounts. Think of it like adding a heavy-duty deadbolt to your digital front door. These simple things are your digital seatbelt. So let's just circle all the way back to where we started. I want you to really let this idea sink in. None of this, the rules, the tools, the safety checks, none of it is about holding you back. Financial literacy is the literal opposite of restriction. It is the tool that gives you freedom. It creates opportunity. It gives you the power to design and build the life you actually want to live. You're in the driver's seat. You've got the map. You've got the keys. Your financial journey starts right now. So there's really only one question left to ask. What's your first turn?